In this part of the lecture, we will discuss how we can graphically formulate and obtain the orientation of the rigid body with respect to the inertial frame. We know that the orientation of the rigid body is given by the R matrix or the orientation matrix. So this is the orientation matrix of the body with respect to the frame 0, which is the inertial frame. And we know that the columns of the R matrix are composed of the three unit vectors of the frame B, but each of these unit vectors is expressed in the frame 0. When you take the derivative of this R matrix, you are also determining the time derivative of each of the columns. These columns are actually representing the rate of change of a unit vector. That means the magnitude is constant. It's just the orientation that can change with angular velocity omega. And we know that the rate of change of a constant magnitude vector is equal to omega cross that vector itself. So we can do this for the ith vector, unit vector, jth unit vector, and kth unit. So we can represent each of these columns in this manner: omega cross I, omega cross j, and omega cross k. And it can be written like this as omega cross I, j, k. And we know that this part here, this bracketed part here, is just the R matrix. So we can write the rate of change of the R matrix is equal to omega cross the R matrix itself. If we post multiply both sides by the transpose of the R matrix, we obtain the derivative of the R matrix into R transpose is equal to omega cross matrix, which is a skew symmetric matrix. Now, if we are to represent this relation graphically and obtain the columns of the R matrix, let's consider this rigid body with the frame B fixed on it, so it can move with the rigid body as the rigid body moves, and its orientation with respect to the frame 0 is changing with angular velocity omega. So here we have the rate of change of this orientation as equal to omega cross R. So if we go column by column, so rate of change of the I unit vector is equal to omega cross I. This we can change the order of this cross product as equal to minus I cross omega. And we know that I cross is a skew symmetric matrix. So its negative is just its transpose. So it can be written as I cross transpose omega. If we are to represent this graphically using bond graph representation, we can consider this one junction omega b with respect to 0 expressed in the frame 0. And we have several bonds connected to it depending upon the points of applications of forces and also the moments. Now let's see column by column. So for the first ith column, we can make use of an MTF. So this is just a signal arrow, multi arrow, and here you have the rate of change of the ith unit vector of the frame B as observed from frame 0 as expressed in the frame 0, and this rate of change is just I cross transpose operating on omega. This rate of change of the ith unit vector can be integrated with respect to time, and you obtain the unit vector itself if you know the initial condition, initial orientation of the ith vector. So this is how the first column of the R matrix can be obtained. Likewise, you can also obtain the column J, that is the J unit vector of the frame B. You can integrate the derivative of the J vector and obtain the J vector, and similarly the derivative of the K unit vector. So K cross transpose operating on omega will give you the derivative of the K unit vector. Integrate it with respect to time and you obtain the third column of the R matrix. So you have all the columns of the R matrix obtained from this equation. So if you know the initial posture of the body, you know the initial value of the R matrix. Thereafter, depending upon the angular velocity, you can continuously determine the rate of change of the R matrix. When you integrate this, as the body moves, you are able to obtain the orientation of the R matrix, orientation of the body, which is the R matrix.